Hey guys, this is Matt with Thrive Off Grid. So, do you guys hear that in the background? Yeah, me neither. No generators running, and we are in the shop with full power. So, the shop will probably looks a little different if you've seen some of our other shop updates. But this here is the new EG4 system. This is the EG4 6000 EX with two 5 kilowatt hour batteries. So yeah, this here can run our welder. That's a 220 welder and our CNC plasma table, both at the same time, which is pretty impressive just on battery power alone. So yeah, this is how if you're gonna do wood gas, you really want to have a battery storage system. That way, you're not all the limitations of running an engine on wood gas. That all disappears with this, because all that power is going straight in here, and then this battery system manages that power. And now the limitation is this inverter, so we can get 6,000 watts out of this no problem. Versus running a single, say 9500 or the 8750, which is limited to pretty much 2500 watts consistently, with occasional 3 to 3.5 kilowatts. Just depends on your fuel and other conditions. But we rate them at 2.5 kilowatts sustaining. So we'll be doing videos here in the future. We just got this set up. We've had a few issues, but these guys have been excellent in getting that resolved. We had I'll show you here. We had a bad wiring harness in one of the batteries, and it is we do need to have two batteries in order to run the shop. One just isn't enough. The peak, when the load spikes are too much for one battery to handle, so it'll fault. But other than that, actually one battery could run the shop if we had generator running. But with the two, but anyways, one of these thermocouples was bad, and they just sent us a new harness, and we installed it, and it's been fine. So yeah, this is a pretty impressive system. For the money, compared to others, from what I've seen, this is a pretty good bang for the buck. I think this cost just under $5,000 USD. And then I did buy a distribution panel and a backup inverter in case we do get a fault. And we have this inverter to back up our PC, and then also power a couple lights in here to keep us going in complete darkness. And then we also got a breaker for the input from the generator, so this line goes out to the generators out back. All right, so it is getting dark out. I'll get to the shop here in a minute, but yeah, as you may notice, everything's changed in here, and we've made some drastic improvements. So, but what I wanted to do before it gets too dark is I wanted to show you the new kiln. We do have light. This is going to be difficult. My Canon has a stand, and I don't have that, and I wanted to kind of show you the guts of this thing. If you're familiar with the older style, it had a box housing, and all that was to eliminate embers from migrating out and catching the woods on fire. But it was really expensive and time consuming to build that, and that really wasn't viable to produce. And we changed it to a much simpler system, and now we just offer this for free because it's made out of a lot of the drops from the CNC process. So this comes free with a gasifier. All right, so Basically, this is designed off the T-Lud concept. So I'm going to show you how this works. Now, the difference between this and a T-Lud is a T-Lud has an open top. All right, so and then you'd have the holes at the top, and then the second stage is lit at the very top. So what we did is you basically close this off so that gas can't migrate out the top. It's actually forced down through the holes in the bottom, and then it's combusted here lower, and then now that instead of that just venting off the top, it's heating the entire hopper, creating a vicious cycle basically. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull this off one-handed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to set you guys down. It's gonna get dark here for a second, so please bear with me. You have to look at the bottom of this trash can for a minute. Sorry, we're not. I'm not gonna edit this. So as you can see, these are the vent holes for the primary combustion stage. And if you know, there's holes in the bottom. So as the combustion gases are escaping, this creates a draft on this, and it pulls air up through those holes to mix with it, making the gas combustible. And then it burns in between this barrel and the shroud, and that heat is applied to the hopper, and that reduces your that expedites the charcoaling process. All right, so now if you notice on the bottom, this catch bin, let me lower that down. All right, so you got a catch bin, and that's so that you can remove it. Oh, you want to focus. Okay, so we're back in focus, but yeah, as you see, I got the lid on there. But yeah, when you're done processing, you lower it down, you put the lid on, and that eliminates oxygen from getting in there, and then stops the combustion process of the fuel. And then you let that set and cool, and it's ready to run in the gasifier. So, but when you're running this, you'll it's a little difficult to do one-handed. Oh, and there's actually charcoal in there. It's been a while since I've been busy getting the shop set up for mass production. So when you're running this, you need to lift this up. So now embers can't come out of there. It just drops to the bottom, and you know, that prevents that from happening. So we don't need that big enclosure box anymore. And plus, it's way simpler and cheaper for you. All right, so I'm gonna come back into the shop. I hope I explained that good enough. The store is kind of tough, and it is Michigan, and it's cold. Okay, so we basically inverted the shop. The CNC machine was at the front of the shop, and now it's to the back, and we basically inverted everything. It just works out better because shipping the machines out the back of the shop wasn't working. We don't always have access to the back of the shop, and if a truck gets here and they usually want to get loaded, and that creates a big problem if we can't access the back of the shop. Then we have to move everything out the front of the shop. So we just inverted it so everything's already at the front of the shop, and then that eliminates that problem. Plus it's better managed. The flows in here are better managed this way too. So all of our raw material comes in here. That's just under 2 tons of steel right there. So we had to get this done because once this gets there's no moving this rack now. I mean, that's 2 tons of steel. There's no way to move it, and no way am I moving moving them individually from one end of the shop to the other. So we had to take advantage of the window at the end of the last cycle and get this restructuring complete. So another thing we've done is we've set the CNC up. We set the programs up so that we're cutting a complete sheet at a time. We got all new controls. We have a brand new plasma cutter, so it doesn't fault anymore. We had an old Harbor Freight unit that we ran the crap out of for almost 10 years, and it finally had enough, and we got rid of it. So we replaced it with the titanium, and we did that prior to this. But yeah, once we got the shop back operational, that's when everything started breaking. The PC died, so we had to replace that. The torch height controller, as you can see, that's brand spanking new. That failed. Our Miller welder, which was also 10 years old, that died. So we replaced that. That's brand new. And then we had the issue with the other battery on this, the second battery. So we had a bunch of downtime with fixing all this stuff. And then we did address some other things, like this old drill press. The spring return on the handles broke. We had to fix that, and a bunch of other stuff. We added all these job carts. So that's something else I wanted to go over. So, last year we were producing between 20 and 15 machines for the entire year. And then this year I made some improvements to where we moved away from building one machine at a time to building an entire quarter worth of machines. So we're, instead of punching one part out at a time, we're punching out, all this, multiple parts, mass producing the parts, and then they go into our inventory shelf, and then they eventually all get built onto a machine. And that worked pretty good, but we had some balance issues where the CNC person would get done, like a month before the welder would get done, and then final assembly. So there's a bunch of downtime. So we had to manage our time a little differently. So what we did now in this last restructure is we've broken it down to 6 machines per cycle. So now there's multiple cycles within the quarter. So now instead of shipping like 20 machines out at the end of the quarter, now we're shipping out 6 machines every other week. So every other week we have 6 machines that we'll be shipping. So this right here are actually, I think there's 7 machines here. So we have 7 machines shipping, and then now we're accumulating the builds as they're ready. So this will get filled, and then as soon as them ship out, we start building pallets, and then those will get packaged and prepped for shipping. So this here is the final assembly side of the inventory rack. So as you can see, we got a number of water tanks prepared. This is for this next cycle. These are for the cycle after. Due to the CNC being broke, we had to kind of jump ahead. But it's something's getting done. These are the handle brackets and the wheel brackets. Those are for kiln, for the CFK-20 kilns, and then on the other side are non-drilled. So these are ready for shipment. Those need to be processed. And then up there are the kiln bodies. So this here is the pre-assembly area. So right here we got the fusion modules. So these are all parts. So eventually those will all get built like this, and then this cart, once they're all built, they'll go on this cart, and then they'll get brought over to the final assembly area. And then same thing here, we got the lid assemblies, the hopper lid, and then ash cleanout lid. Those will get pre-assembled with the the seals installed, and the hinge mechanism will all get installed, and then basically they just bolt on the machine. So we can fully assemble a DFX gasifier from start to finish like this in just a matter of a couple hours now versus a couple days. So we've made some huge improvements. So yeah, we got a new bolt bin, and then over here the CNC area. So when they get a job, this doesn't always just cut a lot of 6. Sometimes there's extras, so those extra parts go on the inventory rack. So when you get a job, it's like one of these guys here, you go to the inventory rack, and then you pull the parts that you need. You may already have a full set right on the, like these lids here. You don't need to cut them because we already have them in stock. And so yeah, we've made some huge improvements. So I can't really think of much else. So now we're producing about roughly 36 machines per quarter now, and we're now shipping every 2 weeks solid, instead of shipping at the end of every quarter. So we're shipping constantly. Okay, yeah, lead times. All right, so as you can see, all right, this clipboard, that's cycle 2. There's 6 orders there. There's 7 machines shipping. We have 2 accumulating there. And if I go over here, each one of those clipboards has 6 machines, except for this last one. This is where we're at. So if you're going to be placing an order, you'll be placing an order for quarter 1, cycle 2. So yeah, we're already booked up for the end of the year. We're taking orders for next for the first quarter of next year. So you're looking at roughly end of January, early February for a shipment if you order today. And this is going to change because this weekend's been crazy. I've been on the phone all weekend with potential new clients. Right here's our schedule for that quarter. This is the schedule for this last quarter for 2022. All right, guys. So hope this was informative. I'll be doing some update videos, working the gasifier with this. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, stay tuned. So yeah, thanks for watching.